Hello everyone, welcome back to WB Blacksmithing. Today we're going to forge a hook from a horseshoe. I have this board here. It's about 2.5 feet long if I remember right. It's a 1x3 pine board and usually they're used for trim. But I have these two horseshoes also. I tried to get ones that were really similar in size. Even shoes on the same horse aren't going to be exactly the same if they're put on correctly. But here we start with a square taper. We have to make it into a square taper for the look that I want. But we start out with sort of a flat bar shape. It's kind of rounded off at the top. As you can see, I can put the one part that sticks out underneath the face of the anvil, and then I can put the other part on top so I can work it. Right here I'm using the horn like most people do for tapers. I don't like to use the edge if I'm just doing a square taper or a flat taper. I usually like to use the horn or the flat face. For drawing out, it's pretty useful to use the edge, but I don't like it for this because then I have to clean it up anyways and it ends up taking more time. Make sure it's straight and stuff. But here we are, about done with that taper there. I just finished the tip. I like to have mine very pointy so then I can scroll them and they look the way that I want them to. By the way, I'm using what is pretty much a rounding hammer. It's about 4.5 pounds. To a lot of people that's pretty heavy, but I like it. Just wanted to make sure you can see that taper really good. And now for Rob Garman again, with the more zoomed in view. That's the guy that goes under the name Granddad's Forge on YouTube, by the way. But here we're doing the second square taper. I'm just straightening out the horseshoe because it curves inwards to make the shape that it needs to fit the horse's hoof, or hoof, whatever, or hoof, whatever. I'm just brushing it off. I usually don't, but for the sake of the video I did. And even at the end you can see how shiny and clean it is even still. Here we're actually doing the square taper. It is a bit awkward because I have to pull the piece of steel out and then put it back on top of the anvil if I want to work the flat section. Drawn out pretty good. And while we're watching this taper happening, not to bore you, but I am going to be coming out with a video making a one-piece rose tomorrow or the next day. Tomorrow I'm just going to try to get a bunch of stuff made because I have another craft show on Sunday. Today is Friday. It's nighttime. It's actually 10 o'clock at night. Now you can see him on the horn again. It's just a bit more efficient because of the decrease in surface area. And the shape also. Just the general shape. It pushes the steel, elongating it instead of just flat like the face. I'll just clean it up a bit, make sure the tip is as sharp as I want it to be. For hooks and stuff like that, and scrolls in general, square taper scrolls, I like to make mine really sharp and long. I just think it looks nicer. But these are going to be part of a coat rack, like I showed you at the beginning. And I'll try to put a video up for that in the thumbnail. I also have it on my social media, if you want to look at that. Instagram and Facebook and stuff. Now I'm on the small 110-pound anvil. It has a Pritchell hole and a smaller Hardy hole, which is better for punching small holes like this versus a 2-inch square Hardy hole. This is pretty small stuff. So I punch from the back first, and then I'll flip it over and knock the slug out, basically. Right now I'm punching like most people like to do. I have a different way of punching, and it countersinks the hole automatically. But for this one I'm not. So I'll use a ball punch and create a countersink. So the screws that hold it into the board, or hold them both into the board, will be flush with the face of the mounting part of the hook. There's the hole, pretty clean, pretty centered, and right where I wanted it. There we go. Now I'm using the ball punch, and I make sure to turn it after every hit, just to make sure that the tool and any unevenness inside of it, or in the striking or working face of it, is not included in the piece. That way the countersink mark is even. Well, there you can see that. Now you might notice I have a smaller hammer. It's about a 1-pound hammer. It's a Channel Lock brand, an old one. But anyways, I'm just using the horn here to bend this hook over. I like to do my scrolling after, or like my little curly Q ends, which are scrolls, after bending the hook part. I just use scrolling tongs that I forged like over a year and a half ago. I like to do it better that way, then you don't have to worry about hitting the scroll in the end. It's very small for little hooks like this. But then I use a small hammer also to clean the scrolls up. Make sure they're nice and tight, or however I want them for the specific hook. And there you can see that. I zoomed it out to give you a full view of using these. These scrolling tongs aren't the prettiest. Like I said, I made them quite a while ago, but they worked. They've been working for a relatively long time. Here you can see me cleaning up the scroll and the shape of it. Now you can see me straightening out the hook, getting it where I want it, because I want each of these hooks to point slightly outwards from each other. And there's that. Now I'll just match the other side. Okay guys, I'm on the other side of the anvil. I like to work around the anvil. It's just easier to bend this side of the hook over. For the second hook that I made, I just bent the other one. I bent this one that I'm working on right now before the first one that I had done on the first hook. I've done these hooks before, just not for a long time. And I'm sure any of you guys know you're going to forget exactly how you did it the first time to make it better. But, you know, just due to the camera, it was harder to get over there. Tripod and stuff was in the way. Here I am brushing it off for video's sake, so people don't tell me I need to brush my stuff off, pretty much. Here we go on the other side again. I do apologize for the brightness and stuff. It was very sunny out. or I'm scrolling this over again. I would like to buy an actual professional camera, not cheap out. Soonish, I hope. I have big business stuff to buy. I need to get a portable rolling shop built and tools to go in there. That won't cost a lot, it will just cost money. Or it'll just cost time, that's what I meant to say. Jeez. I also would like to get a shop edition built, probably. I have some stuff that might be happening that won't even make me need to build a shop edition. But I can't say much about that yet, until it's a for sure thing. But here I am cleaning up this second little scroll, cleaning up the both of them now. Making sure they're even. Now I'm just flattening out the mounting section again. But you can see how clean this stuff is. What I think really matters is, well, my fires are pretty deep, 6 inches, and all the oxygen, the just rough, hard oxygen that would oxidize your steel faster and stuff, it gets eaten up by the lower fire, and then the rest comes up and makes the fire hot. And you can see it's pretty clean, but also the hammer faces being clean and the anvils being clean matter. But I'm going to have to get going. Thank you for watching and subscribing. Hopefully you like this little project. Bye.